Okay, this is kind of interesting. So there was a recipe here, option between two things. I picked one of them, and then I was expecting to be able to research the other one. Unable to scan hard drive. No rewards currently available. But I do know for a fact that there is one, and I even know which one it is. It's a canister recipe. What's going on here? You know what, maybe if I just save the game, reload it. Oop. Reload it, see if that fixes the bug. Alright, let's try it now. Okay, now it's going. Okay, so quitting out and reloading it fixed it. Okay, cool. Okay, we have finished with the last alternate recipe. Boom. Nice. So that leaves 6 hard drives left over for anything that I might need them for. Sweet. Okay. So, I have spent a little bit of time adding to my rail network here. Well, added a few routes to it. There's now a path. Crap, I can't even. I think it goes here. Well, we'll see it here. It connects to the existing rail ring in several places. Here is one such place. And this route goes through the cave that we were looking at previously. That I really wanted to run a rail through. And admittedly, that's mostly why this new edition exists. Is so that I can run a rail through there. I have also connected it to the turbo power plant so that I can export the plastic and rubber that are needed for some of the recipes coming up. Like the... Oop, that's not the recipe button. Like the... Come on. Oh, I can't do that while I'm in the train. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, so like the reinforced iron plates. I believe it was rubber that significantly reduced the iron requirement, so that'd probably be really worth doing. So it'd be nice to be able to export vast quantities of rubber from the turbo plant to wherever. Yes. I don't know exactly what it's going to take to make a full belt of the various things. I'm obviously going to use the recycled rubber and plastic recipes with using the resin byproduct as a way to jumpstart that process. Wait a minute. Did we bypass the cave entirely? Oh, I thought this would go through the cave. Oh, I'm sad. Okay. You know what? Screw it. I'm turning off the AI, the autopilot. We're going through that freaking cave. I don't care. Where are we? Okay, there's a turn somewhere around here. And I need to go right in order to go through that cave. Okay, we're not where I thought I was. Okay, okay. So, got time until that turn. So, yes, I think that's the turn. Oh, no, that's for the other rail. There we go, okay. Now I should be able to just turn this on, and we'll see what happens here. This might find like a U-turn and take us back. Actually, that's a good point. That's probably what's going to happen. Probably going to take us a direction that I don't actually want to go in right now. Aha, okay. Turn that on. There we go, now we're going through the cave. Okay, so... what was I saying? Oh yeah, plastic and rubber. Gonna use the recycled recipes. I might actually have to build a fourth line to that just so I can get a 4 full belts. I don't know what it would take to get 4 full belts at this time. Hopefully that won't be too much of an issue though. I'm probably gonna wind up having to shut down part of the plant anyway, just so I can get sufficient fuel for the plastic and rubber. And like most of the power is kind of going to waste anyway, so I might as well. Oh, forgot to mention it. I came up with this concept of a sunken power line, which is a blueprint that will let me put the power line partly in the ground, so I can make it shorter like there, so I can fit through these caverns with my zip lines. Oh yeah, I forgot we also went through this cave too. The signal sticking out of the rock is kind of funny. Alright. Now we're off to the new chunk of rail here that will go around the cliff area and here and lead to the turbo power plant, which is where we're going to be making and distributing our plastic and rubber from. Oh, that looked a little bad, but oh. Little scuffedness is fine, so long as it works. That's pretty much it for that. Okay, I have finished building up the rubber and plastic production facilities. A couple things to note is to convert resin into plastic and rubber, I need water. And I was trying to figure out where to get water from, but I've got these 3 pipes. So I did some math, and I should be able to get... There should be sufficient water left over from the diluted fuel making process to actually provide all the power I need, or all the water that I need. So I pumped those into there, or connected them up. Let's see. The resin coming down from the top. I think it is. Where is it coming down at? Okay. Oh, right there. Okay, okay. So it's coming down from the top, joining with the resin byproduct from here. Got going into smart splitters with the overflow going into the grinders, so I don't have to worry about having too much of that. And going down into the refineries here. The fuel used to make the recycled rubber and plastic. I did some calculations, and to fully sustain what I want to do, I actually would need like 4 full pipelines of it, but I've only got 3 pipelines. But whatever. I just came up with this kind of splitter thing to try to balance out the contents of the 3 pipes amongst the 4 pipes and going down here. So, what I have is 5 of these refineries. Well, I actually can't use. There's more than 5, but I used Blueprint, which contained 4, and I just didn't remove the extra 3, so we've got 8. These will make the start out making plastic and rubber to jumpstart the process. I have 2 rows of 20. Each of the 20 can make a full belt's worth of plastic or rubber, and it uses half a belt. Each grouping uses half a belt to make recycled plastic or rubber. So what will basically happen is, I believe on this side it's making rubber, so the plastic will come in from the resin, come into here, start being turned into rubber, come out here, go into this splitter, or yes, merger, joining with the output from the resin plastic production. Go over to here. Now, this is a smart splitter that will prioritize this bottom line here. The bottom line goes into the recycled plastic thing, so it will start converting that into plastic to continue the process. And the overflow will go up at the top, so that'll only happen when the bottom is completely full, and that will get sent off to the other machines down at the very end of the line to make the actual plastic and rubber that will be exported. Do I have a zip line here? I do. Oop, no, no, come on, grab it, grab it, there we go. Yep. So these ones will make the plastic and rubber that is used by the whole system, and these will be making the plastic and rubber that'll actually get output to the train system. I have it going down here to my 425 splitters. I'll eventually be putting dimensional depots down so I can export that to my inventory, and of course from there it goes down to the trains. So let's turn this on and see how well this works. Okay, turning on the first one. We'll just sit here and watch this first one go for a few minutes. Should be making... oh, now it's outputting. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Now, originally I was thinking of putting smart splitters on there so it would fill up the first one, then the second one, so on and so forth down the line. But then I kind of forgot and didn't do it, and now I'm too lazy to go back and change it, so... oh, there comes the first batch. Perfect. And again, those smart splitters will prioritize the recycled producers. Not sure what to actually call them. Now, the amount that that I'll be getting from the resin is kind of a pittance. I think it's like 92 that I'll get total from that, from all that resin that I'm producing. Wait, it just stopped. That's not good. Why'd it just stop? What's going on here? Fuel! We're out of fuel. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. So this is kind of interesting. I came down here to turn off one of the generator lines. Flip this off so the pump stop and fuel stops flowing into the generators. And click this and it's like, it's gotten full a lot faster than I would have expected, although actually now that number is climbing a lot slower than I would have expected. But then I came over and checked these. And like these... Oh, wait, what? This one's halfway full, but this one barely has anything in it. Same with that one. Did I screw up somewhere? Okay. Okay, this might not be as amazing of a find as I initially thought. I thought it was building up fuel. Well, it still is clearly building up fuel a little bit faster than I'm burning it. Just a smidgen faster enough to fill up these tanks, but it's not balancing out amongst the other tanks as I had hoped for. Which is interesting. They're actually fueling this. There's a flow rate of 0. Oh, I see what's going on. It's probably like fuel is probably like here, and it can't quite go over this little pump here. That would explain that. Yeah, because there's nothing in this pipe here. Okay. Alright, so I put some pipes on the side, and that does seem to be doing a much better job balancing out the fluids in these tanks. That one is completely full. These are kind of empty, but much more balanced fluid-wise. I think what happened was all the fluid that was in this tank drained out into these 3 tanks. I think that's why this is pretty much empty now, and these have a bit stuff in them. Alright, I have finished the iron plate production. Just adjust my chair real quick. There we go. And it didn't require nearly as many machines as I was expecting it to. So let's go ahead and flip this on. Alright, and there we go. Some nice iron plates being made. Now, you'll notice that while there's only like a few machines up here, surprisingly few machines, only required 12 machines per row to get a full belt output of iron plates. And it requires surprisingly little plastic. And each row only required like 600 iron ingots. I can't remember how much plastic it was at the moment. 120 plastic to create 1,200 iron plates. That's pretty great. But anyway, you'll probably notice that while there's only a few machines, the platform is rather long. That is because in order to get to the train stations, I had to make it very, very long. And there's kind of this huge gap in the middle of my factory now. which is kind of funny. I'm gonna have to start putting the train stations kind of more in a that way type direction. Also, you'll notice that we're starting to get higher than the water tower there. So, so for copper sheets, I'm probably gonna have to do that next, because steamed copper sheets is the best recipe and it requires water. So I'm already gonna have to increase the height of the water tower just to make it up here, and so I should probably get the water recipes out of the way. I've also made some kind of changes around here. I've swapped out the control room that was here for the more standardized one that I made. And surprisingly enough, it didn't take as long as I thought it would to hook up everything. But I've kind of abandoned the idea of using these power lines to maneuver around the factory. It's gotten to the point where it's just way too tall to make that viable. So I have opted for a zip tower here that I've created. It's a lot like the water towers zipline thing, except that it's slightly more spread out. It's taller. It's like 8 segments. Oh, yeah. It's like 8 segments per section instead of 4. So, overall, it should go about twice as fast up as the water tower version. And it's all powered, so I can use the hover pack or the zip line. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. That appears to be the limit. That's not what I meant to do, but that works. So, I just rebuilt this water tower up to world height limit, and I realized I messed up the base. like this is literally the bottom portion of it. This is the base. And I messed up the alignment. Okay. I think the easier thing to do here is, instead of rebuilding literally the entire tower, if I just reposition the base here. Boop. I just had to share that. That's just funny to me. Okay, back to building. Okay. It is time for copper sheets. Now, I've kind of modified my little splitter here to be able to support 5-dimensional depots without too much difficulty. Which I decided to do because I go through copper sheets a lot when I'm building these things. So, you saw I rebuilt the water tower because I needed 8 full pipes of water to this to get myself the 4 full belts of copper sheets. And it's all the way up to world height. Now, I redesigned the middle tower segments to be more like my zipline thing, and being 8 of those block things tall rather than just 4. Which reduced the time it takes to get to the top by half, and also all the materials required by half, or, well, you know, half the connections, half the pumps, half the pipes, etc., etc., etc. So, definitely worthwhile. Now, working up here did kind of present me with a bit of an issue, in that gap is just so big that I have to start the belt at the top, fall down to the bottom, connect it, then ride on zip lines all the way over here, ride up the tower, ride zip lines all the way back, make the next connection, fall, rinse and repeat. Been trying to come up with a way of reducing the time it takes me to get back to the top. I was kind of thinking of designing like a cannon in the blueprints that I could throw down and just have it hop in it and have it throw me up. But obviously I haven't done that yet. Also, during one of my mini trips back up, I discovered that I had miscalculated the number of assemblers that I needed to make the iron plates. But it was an easy fix, just one more blueprint slapped down on each one to make 16 assemblers rather than 12. Okay, so I've been thinking about making reinforced iron plates next. I originally made this to kind of produce the plates for that. I get like full belt each, but I'm sitting here and thinking about this, and this adhered iron plate is obviously the best recipe for this. Okay, so the problem here, though, is 3 iron plates to 1 rubber, and it outputs 1 reinforced iron plate. So the rubber to reinforced iron plate is 1-to-1 ratio. That's not too much of an issue. To get a full belt of reinforced iron plates, I'd need a full belt of rubber. Easy. But the problem is the iron plates here. It's a 3-to-1, which means that for a belt of iron plates, I would only get 400 reinforced iron plates. That's kind of an issue. Well, I suppose it's not really much of an issue, but I'd prefer to get more reinforced iron plates if I can. Now, because the coated iron plate recipe is a 1-to-2 recipe, so I'm only using 600 iron ingots to get a full belt of iron plates. I could easily create another batch of these things here to get a second belt of iron plates, which would bump that from 400 iron plate or reinforced iron plate output to 800 reinforced iron plate output. That's better. That is better. But looking at iron plate recipes, I noticed there's a steel cast plate, which is significant. Well, I suppose probably not significant, but is less efficient than the coated iron plates. However, to get a full belt, or to get 3 full belts of iron plates, it only needs 1 full belt of iron ingots and 1 full belt of iron steel. That's, I have a full belt of iron ingots and a full belt of iron steel ingots. So that is actually viable. Just open this up here. Yeah, like this, it outputs perfectly 3 or 45 per minute. How much does this eat per minute? Okay, less than that, so I could have one foundry going to multiple assemblers for that. That's totally viable, and that would get me a full belt of reinforced iron plates as output. Okay, so I've come up with the design that I want to use for this, but hit a slight snag here. So the blueprint, fairly simple, straightforward. One foundry goes into 4 assemblers. Pretty simple. But the number of assemblers that I need, because each assembler makes so few of these reinforced iron plates, I need 320 assemblers. So when I'm building these things, I tend to think of them in terms of how many of these plates that I need. So I got 4 per plate, and if I need 320 assemblers, 320 divided by 4 is 80. So I need 80 of these plates. That's a lot. That is most definitely a large number. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure there's enough space in that direction for 80 plates. So this is gonna get fun. It might also be possible, like, stack these up that would have the number of plates that I need. It might not be a bad idea. Actually, that's probably the best plan. Alright, so I went back to the drawing board and came up with this unholy abomination, which is 16 assemblers per blueprint. I think this is slightly taller than the space I normally allot to this sort of thing, but should be fine. Yeah, this does reduce the number of those tiles that I need down to 20. So I could just overclock these. Okay. I want you guys to know. I need you guys to understand. I absolutely hate reinforced iron plates. God damn it, man. This was such a pain in the ass to do, but here it is. 320 assemblers, 80 foundries, all to make reinforced iron plates. Moment of truth, will this actually work? Oop. Awesome time for an autosave. Hard to tell if there's actual output here because of the way the output is collected. I guess there is no output yet. Oh, there was some output. I saw it. Okay, so we've got output now. Oh boy. So, we've got a full belt of iron ingots, a full belt of steel ingots, and a full belt of rubber going to each row. And out, once it gets saturated with resources, should come a full belt of reinforced iron plates. That's pretty great. Oh, and after I finished placing all the machines and hooking them up and everything, and started running the belts down here, I realized I accidentally put the platform off by half a block. I'm not fixing it. It's just gonna stay like this. I'll fix future iterations, but yeah, I'm not fixing it. Oh, I forgot to put the dimensional depots over here. I don't know if I've already shown this. I've modified my thing here, my splitter, to not just have one spot, but technically 5 spots. 4 dimensional depots, so I can get a full belt uploaded at once. I'm just gonna put 3 here for now because I don't really need that many at the moment. Although this was a point of pain during the construction. Well, during the construction of the above machinery here, I had technically 4 points of pain. One was the reinforced belts. Like, apparently one of the producers uses it. Is it this? Yeah. Each assembler requires 8 reinforced iron plates, and I didn't have as big of a stockpile as I needed, so I had to wait for those things to be made. Another point of pain was rotors, because again, each assembler requires 4 rotors. Let's see, do the forges require foundries? Yes, the foundries also require rotors. So that was another major point of pain. Another major point of pain was the wire connections, power connectors. Because, as you can see, there's quite a lot of cable in here. Like, each one of these needs to be plugged in. So that's, what, 400 connections just to the machines themselves, not including between the poles and things. Of course, the belts. I'm staring right at it. So the time crystals. I'm apparently not making... I'm apparently not making them fast enough to be building on this large of a scale. But I'm not really going to be able to do anything about that for a while, I don't think. I will be able to eventually, but not right now. So, next I need to either make cables or rotors. Oop, 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 oop. Nope, this is what I meant to do. You can see from that recipe list, use quite a bit of both rotors and connectors. Oh yes, and also quite a few time crystals. I didn't realize it was 160 per thing. That explains why I burned through that so darn quickly. Oddly enough, I do make the triguns fairly quickly. The time crystals need to be made from diamonds, which need to be made from shit tons of coal. So, need either cables or rotors next. Yes. I'll have to figure that out, but I think I'm going to take a break first because this took a while. This was a pain in the ass.